Yo, what's going on YouTube? I made a video about Deep Prot Warrior on Turtle WoW already. However, some things have changed, so here I am, updating the build. This is a helpful guide to spec and gearing for those delicious, fat slam hits and crits. If you are decently geared, this build is amazing when it comes to tanking and TPS, which stands for threat per second. However, though, it's amazing in PvP as well. So let's jump straight into it. So first of all, we have improved the Revenge build and Prot Impale build. In this video, I'll talk about Prot Impale build. We'll talk about Prot Impale build. Both spec run roughly the same gear. However, key parts are tier 3 gloves, belt, pants and shoulders. Make sure to enchant your head and legs with ZG enchant. On gloves you want 15 agility and on belt you want 6 agility. Speaking of ZG enchants, yeah, I know it can be rough to get idols, but by all means do it like I did. So this guide is for warriors, tank warriors. As a main tank and raid organizer, you have right to hard reserve first idol, so do it. This way I got like 10 or 15 idols. I use them on my 2.5 gear, on my tier 3 gear, and some other items from BWL and my arcane resistance gear for Karazhan 40. Rest of my idols are just rotting in my bank. The rest of the gear is a mix of DPS items and some 2.5 AQ40 gear. This also depends on what hit pieces you will use, as I mentioned in my previous Deep Prot Warrior build, which you can check on top right corner. In this video I decided to update it because we had some changes, so this is the newest and the most reliable arms/prot build. Don't forget the fact that you have to aim for that sweet spot where you want to balance when it comes to TPS and defense. You don't want to be too squishy and get 3-shotted by bosses in Naxxramas, but you don't want to be a moving stronghold roaming around and raid starved as well. WoW, World of Warcraft, especially Turtle WoW, gives you a lot, and I mean a lot, of options to mix your items and get the best out of both defense and offense. Okay, so let's just jump straight to talent calculator. This build runs with 2 spare points. At the moment I'm pushing those points into cruelty, which gives you 2% of crit. But gag order may be a swap for Karazhan 40. You never know. The spec gives you the extra crit damage from Impale that helps you push your slams up to 2k, but with the glyph of deflection activated, it can push your above 2.5k slam crits. You'll be running around with 1.1k damage per normal hit while glyph of deflection is activated. And don't forget, the more block value you have, the bigger shield slam is. Alright, so here we are in Turtle WoW database talent calculator. So these are your new talents. Let's start with arms, 3 fury and then protection. So 17/2/32. In Tactical Mastery, we have only 3 out of 5 now. You retain up to 15 rage points of your when you change stance. This is enough. Instead of going 5 out of 5, now we are going 3 out of 5. In Improved Rend, we are going 2 points. Just to be honest with you, you will not use Improved Rend in your rotation that much. We are going we are putting this because of Deep Wounds and Impale. Then we have Deflection, which increases your parry chance by 5%. Then we have Improved Overpower, which increases the critical strike chance of your overpower ability by 50%. Then we have Golden Deep Wounds. Your critical strikes cause the opponents to bleed, dealing 60% of your melee weapons damage, average weapons damage over 6 seconds. And then we have Impale. Rank 2 out of 2 points. Increases the critical strike damage bonus of your abilities in battle, defensive, and berserker stance by 20%. This means more critical for Shield Slam. This means more critical for Concussion Blow, for Heroic Strike, for Revenge, for Overpower, for everything. That's where Impale shines. Deep Wounds and Impale, both equally, especially Impale. Then over here, like I mentioned a moment ago, we have Cruelty, just 2 points. But in Karazhan 40, we might put Gag Order 2 out of 2. Gag Order, let's read. Your Shield Slam has an additional 100% chance to dispel one magic effect on the target, and your Shield Bash ability has a 100% chance to silence the target for 3 seconds. Maybe we will need it for Karazhan 40, you never know. But for now, Cruelty 2 out of 5. Then in Protection Tree we have Improved Blood Rage 2 out of 2. Shield Spec 5 out of 5. Increases your chance to block attacks with a shield by 5% and generates 5 rage when a block occurs. If you lack of some defense, you can put 4 out of 5 in Shield Spec and put 3 out of 3 in Anticipation, which increases your defense by 20. 6 more defense is a lot. That's an additional trinket or a finger, you know what I mean. So if you lack defense, just go 4 out of 5 in Shield Spec and just go 3 out of 3 in Anticipation. Then we have Toughness, of course, which increases your armor value from items by 10% and the amount of damage absorbed by your shield by 15%. Last Stand, of course, you know what Last Stand is. Then we have Defiance, which increases the threat generated while in defensive stance by an additional 15%. This is more threat by Shield Slam. This is more threat when it comes to defensive tactics, more threat from Concussion Blow, and more threat from Revenge, more threat from Heroic Strike, literally everything while you're in defensive stance. I mean, Defiance. Very, very simple talent. Then we have One-Handed Weapon Spec, increases the damage you deal with one-handed melee weapons by 10%. Then we have Shield Slam. And then we have Improved Shield Slam. Reduces the cooldown of Shield Slam by 1.5 seconds. And using this ability will also grant you an extra 70% chance to block the next attack within 4.5 seconds. So use it wisely. As you know, you have Shield Block and you have now Improved Shield Slam. If you remember back then when Fury Prot was thing, you had like 1 point in Improved Shield Block. That's what Improved Shield Slam does now. As a battle tank, as a Impale Shield Slam warrior, you have two shield blocks. You have shield block, normal one, and then you have a shield block from improved shield slam talent, right? Next we have defensive, so use it wisely, time it correctly, you know what I mean? Especially if you are fighting, if you are main tanking, I don't know, let's say for example patchwork, if you're soaker, if you tank Maexna, if you tank, what was the name of that boss in Next Ramas, the one that has spores, what was the name of that, the one that hits hard, I forgot, you know on which boss I mean, the one that that healers rotates on you, you know, and the one that that needs spore, that you need to enter, that has like group spore 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on. I forgot the name, but you know on which boss I mean. Then we have defense tactics. While wearing a shield, you retain 180% of the increased threat generation from defensive stance in other stances. This is something amazing. So this is where overpower shines. So let's pretend that we are in defensive stance, and suddenly you get dodge from a mob, from a boss. You immediately swap to battle stance and you overpower target, which will deal a massive amount of threat. This is also this is something like a second taunt also, because when you're fighting a pack of mobs, and if a mob starts running around, you just OP them, you know. That's insta down, because that's a lot of damage over there. That's a lot of threat, you know what I mean when it comes to dungeons. And then we have a concussion blow, which deals 150 damage and stuns the opponent for 2 seconds. Stun is totally irrelevant, because almost nothing in raids can be stunned. This ability deals a high amount of threat and penetrates 100% of the enemy's armor. Right, so these will be your talent points. Like I said, you can swap, you can put a 4 out of 5 in shield spec. It won't hurt that much. I mean, instead of 5% block, you will be on 4%, and you will generate 4 rage instead of 5. Not a biggie. 1% block, okay, that's decent, you know. And 1 rage, that doesn't play a big role. I mean, who cares about 1 rage? But if you are low on defense, and if you are too squishy, just go for 3 out of 3 in anticipation by all means, which increases your defense skill by 20, an additional 6 defense. Like I said, it's literally a ring or a trinket. So yeah, that will be pretty much it when it comes to talent points. Just look how perfectly Deep Wounds Impale stacks with overpower, with shield slam, with defensive tactics, with concussion blow, with improve revenge, with heroic strike, with everything, literally everything. So that's the beauty of Impale Shield Slam Protection Warrior. Alright, let's move on. The first time you use this spec the first time you use this build may feel strange, you know. It has excellent TPS, like I said, it stands for threat per second when it gets going, but none of the flexibility of just Prot Impale. You don't have easy access to taunt or a revenge rotation, but you can get some nice and semi-guaranteed crits. I mean, not semi-guaranteed, 75 guaranteed crits using improved overpower. The build runs a little more defense and gets the full benefit from one hand spec, giving all your attacks 110 base damage. Again, it has a spare 2 points, like I said, that I am putting into cruelty, but it can be moved. Do as you like. In this build, bottom end crits will be 2170 damage and 900 normal hits, again for 20 seconds with glyph of deflection, 2850 crit and 1190 normal hit for raw TPS. When this spec pops off, landing chunky slams and heroic strikes crit, you can spike up to 4 to 10k TPS one swing, of course, depending on your gear. This all depends on your gear, guys. It depends on your attack power, it depends on your block value, and it depends on your crit percentage. This spec also has less crit slash crash push off, so it's best used when the raid is comfortable and able to heal the sometimes spiky damage. Overall stats, I'm favoring stacking as much raw shield block value I can, followed by standard stats, so stamina, then strength, then agility, and then attack power. But bear in mind that the more attack power you have, the bigger your shield slam is. Strength gives a double benefit to slam damage, being it gives around 1 to 6 extra damage per 20 strength. 20 strength equals to 1 shield block value, and 40 attack power equals to 6 shield block value. Total 7 versus just flat attack power. This is also buffed by 10% due to kings, and don't forget that it all adds up. That will be pretty much it when it comes to this guide. I hope that I helped you. If you have some comments or if I made a mistake somewhere, please comment down below. Let me know what you think, and yeah, that will be pretty much it. Well, I don't think I mastered this. This is not a perfect guide. This is not perfect guide. So if I messed up somewhere, please correct me. This is why we are all here to work together. You know what I mean? That's the point of my channel. You know. So if I fucked up somewhere, just tell me in the comments below, and yeah, let's end the video over here. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.